The gun trembled in Marcus Webb's calloused hand as he stood in the shadows of the penthouse hallway, watching Michael Chen sleep peacefully beside his 8-month-old son. $300,000 waited in an offshore account, the price tag on a good man's life. But Marcus couldn't pull the trigger, because 12 years ago, on the coldest night of his life, this same man had saved him. 6 months earlier, Veronica Ashford sat in her luxury sedan outside Chen Industries headquarters, applying lipstick with the precision of a surgeon. At 32, she had perfected the art of attraction. Her targets were always the same: self-made billionaires with more ambition than sense. Men who believed love could be bought with the right gestures. Michael Chen was different, though. The tech mogul had built his empire from nothing, and despite his $7 billion net worth, he still drove himself to work, still ate lunch at food trucks, still treated his cleaning staff like family. Veronica had done her research. This would be her retirement job. Their meeting was carefully orchestrated. She accidentally spilled coffee on him at a charity gala, apologized profusely, and within minutes had him laughing at her self-deprecating humor. Michael, who'd been single for 3 years after pouring everything into his company, found himself enchanted by this woman who seemed to care nothing about his wealth. Their courtship was a masterclass in manipulation. Veronica refused expensive gifts, insisting she'd rather take walks in the park. She showed interest in his work, asked thoughtful questions, and slowly, methodically, made herself indispensable to his happiness. When he proposed after 8 months, she cried tears she'd practiced in the mirror for years. The wedding was intimate, exactly as she'd suggested, painting herself as humble and genuine. On their honeymoon in Bali, she stopped taking her birth control pills without telling him. A baby would be the final piece of the puzzle, the element that would make her divorce settlement, or better yet, her widow's inheritance, absolutely ironclad. When she announced her pregnancy 3 months later, Michael wept with joy. He'd always wanted to be a father. Veronica smiled and held him, mentally calculating her timeline. The baby would need to be born first, establishing her as the mother of his heir. Then an accident. Nothing traceable. Nothing that would raise suspicion. Marcus Webb lived in the kind of neighborhood where dreams went to die. His studio apartment smelled of mildew and regret, the walls so thin he could hear his neighbors' every argument, every sob, every moment of their collapsing lives. He'd been out of prison for 2 years, armed robbery from a decade ago, and nobody wanted to hire a felon pushing 40. When Veronica's intermediary contacted him through the dark web, offering $300,000 for a clean job, Marcus knew he should walk away. He'd promised himself, promised his parole officer, promised the ghost of his mother that he'd stay straight. But $300,000 could change everything. A new start. A legitimate business. A chance. The target's name came in an encrypted email. Michael Chen. Marcus felt his blood freeze. He stared at the name for a full minute, then pulled out the one photograph he'd kept from his old life. It was wrinkled, water-stained, but the image was clear. A younger Michael Chen, maybe 25, handing Marcus a sandwich and a blanket under a highway overpass. It was December 2013. Marcus had been homeless for 6 months, sleeping rough after losing his restaurant job, his apartment, everything. He'd been invisible, just another face in the urban landscape that people stepped over or avoided. But every Tuesday and Thursday morning, Like clockwork, a young man would stop on his way to his warehouse job. Michael never asked questions, never preached, never demanded gratitude. He'd bring food, sometimes clothes, once a pair of boots that Marcus still owned. They'd talk. Michael would share his dreams of starting a tech company, of changing the world. Marcus would share memories of better days, recipes from the restaurant, hope that felt like lies. "You're going to make it, Marcus," Michael had said one morning. "I can see it in you. You've just hit a rough patch." We all do. When Marcus got arrested 3 months later for robbing a convenience store, desperate and starving, he never saw Michael again. But those words had sustained him through prison, through the darkest nights when suicide felt like mercy. Someone had believed in him once. Now someone wanted him to kill that person. Marcus met with Veronica's intermediary, a cold-eyed woman named Silva who worked from a coffee shop, always in public, always careful. She provided the details. Michael's schedule, security protocols, the window of opportunity. She transferred $50,000 up front. "Why do you want him dead?" Marcus asked. Silva smiled without warmth. "Does it matter? You're being paid to do a job, not ask questions." But it did matter. Marcus began his own investigation. He followed Veronica for a week, watched her spend Michael's money with casual indifference, saw her meet with Silva in parking garages, observed the way she held baby William, their 8-month-old son, with the distant interest of someone holding a prop. He hacked into her laptop, easier than it should have been, and found the truth. Veronica Ashford wasn't even her real name. She was Victoria Ashcroft, a con artist with a trail of wealthy men behind her. 2 mysterious deaths, 3 contested wills, millions in settlements. She was a predator, and Michael was just her latest mark. The night came faster than Marcus wanted. He stood in the penthouse, security disabled through codes Silva had provided, gun in hand, watching Michael sleep. The man looked older now, lines of stress around his eyes from running a massive company and caring for an infant. Baby William slept in a bassinet beside the bed, tiny fists curled against his chest. Marcus raised the gun. The suppressor would make it quiet. Michael would never know. It would look like a robbery gone wrong. Clean, professional, $300,000. His hand shook. "I can't do it," Marcus whispered to the darkness. Then louder, "Michael, wake up." Michael's eyes snapped open, instantly alert. He saw the gun, saw Marcus, and something flickered across his face. Not fear, recognition. "Marcus Webb," Michael said quietly, not moving. "From the overpass, you got that restaurant job you wanted?" Marcus laughed, a broken sound. "I robbed a store instead. Did 10 years. Now I'm here to kill you because your wife paid me $300,000. Michael sat up slowly, hands visible. "Veronica? Her real name is Victoria Ashcroft. She's done this before. You're target number 6. I'm supposed to make it look like a home invasion." Marcus lowered the gun slightly. "I was starving, homeless, invisible. You saw me. You treated me like a human being. I can't kill you." "I won't." Michael's face hardened as understanding dawned. She was pregnant so fast. The rushed wedding. "She's been planning this since before she met you," Marcus confirmed. "I've got evidence, laptop files, communications with Silva, her handler. Enough to put her away for life." The baby stirred, making small sounds. Michael looked at his son and Marcus saw something break in the billionaire's eyes. "That's my son," Michael said. "William. She gave birth to him. He's innocent in this." "He is," Marcus agreed, "but she's not. And if I don't kill you, she'll find someone else who will." They sat in silence for a moment, two men from different worlds connected by mercy given and returned. Then Michael spoke, his voice steady despite everything crumbling around him. "There's another way, a better way, but I need your help." Veronica returned from her spa weekend refreshed and ready to play the grieving widow. She'd spent 3 days establishing her alibi, surrounded by witnesses, getting filmed by security cameras. When she walked into the penthouse at noon, she expected to find police tape, detectives, her husband's body being removed. Instead, she found Michael alive, sitting at the dining table with Marcus, FBI Special Agent Sarah Chen, and a laptop displaying every incriminating file from her computer. Her face went white, then red, then carefully neutral. "Michael, darling, who are these people?" "The FBI knows about Victoria Ashcroft," Michael said, his voice devoid of emotion. "They know about Martin Wexler, dead in a boating accident. David Kim fell down the stairs. Gregory Stone, carbon monoxide poisoning. Should I continue?" Veronica's mask slipped. Her eyes turned cold, calculating. "You can't prove anything. I have alibis for all of those." "I have an alibi for whatever you think happened last night." Marcus stood up. "You hired me to kill him. I have recordings of Silva, your handler, wire transfers, text messages. The FBI has been building a case against your operation for 2 years. Michael wasn't your target. He was your trap. It was a lie, but delivered with enough conviction that Veronica believed it. The truth was simpler. Michael had called his contacts in law enforcement the moment Marcus revealed the plot. They'd moved with extraordinary speed, motivated by the attempted murder of one of the city's most prominent philanthropists. "I want a lawyer," Veronica said. "You'll need several," Agent Chen replied, standing. "Victoria Ashcroft, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, and we're reopening investigations into 3 suspicious deaths. You have the right to remain silent." As they led her away, Veronica looked back at Michael one last time. "I did love you," she said, "as much as I could love anyone." "No," Michael replied, holding William closer. "You loved what I could give you. There's a difference." 6 months later, Marcus Webb stood outside a small restaurant in downtown Seattle. The sign above the door read "Webb's Kitchen" in elegant script. Through the window, he could see customers filling the tables, his staff moving efficiently, the dream he'd abandoned years ago finally real. Michael had provided the startup capital, refusing to call it a loan. "Call it a late payment," he'd said, "for reminding me that mercy matters, that character matters, that the person you help today might save your life tomorrow." Victoria Ashcroft was serving 25 years to life. Silva and 2 others in her network arrested as well. Michael had full custody of William, who was learning to walk and had his father's smile. The boy would never remember his mother, and perhaps that was a mercy too. As Marcus unlocked the restaurant for the dinner service, his phone buzzed. A text from Michael. "Still on for Sunday dinner? William wants to show you his new trick." Marcus smiled and replied, "Wouldn't miss it." He'd been given a second chance by a man who expected nothing in return, and when the moment came, he'd chosen honor over money. In the end, that choice had saved them both. Some debts, Marcus understood now, were meant to be paid forward, not back. The cycle of mercy had no end, only new beginnings. And in a city of millions, on an ordinary evening, 2 lives touched by grace moved forward, carrying the weight of choices made and chances given, proof that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can echo across years, across circumstances, across the space between who we are and who we might become.